They told her that things would be okay, and ultimately they would be, but right now, she suffered with thoughts of suicide, the what ifs, the could have beens of what life could be. She suffered mostly from a broken heart. From many things in particular, but really just from life itself. They told her if she gathered all her problems and put them on a shelf, if they really wanted to meet up with her, they'd be there when she got back. And as she turned the key to unlock the door to her home that day, there were her demons staring her in the face, and this time she couldn't run away. She stood there face to face with her past, and he brought up things like she was never quite loved right from birth, or the fact that she had a baby at 17, so she would never quite be what men expected her to be now, or the one person she knew for sure loved and cared about her, she ran him off at 19, and that's when things got worse. She walked in the shadow of her past all her life. She stood there face to face with suicide, looking him in the eye. She conversated with him, contemplating on whether he would conquer her or she could conquer him. She sat down and had dinner with both of them together. Their charm and their wit made her feel better, but in the back of her mind, she knew that dancing with demons was direct definition of flirting with death. They told her things she wanted to hear, like, I love you and everything is gonna be okay. One kiss from me will make it all go away. Inhale, exhale, breathe easy. Embrace me and I'll put that stress to rest. See, she wanted nothing more than for someone to love her unconditionally, not like the love that she got from her mother or father, see, because that came natural. She wanted someone to make the decision to take the pieces of her shattered glass heart, hold them in their hands and make it whole again. She wanted someone to understand that the only reason why she could never be understood mentally was because her heart had been broken so long. She never had anything to effectively pump blood to her brain. So this 20 years of sorrow had her going insane. So she flirted with death, conversated with suicide, took shots with her past, got high off the lies, and when her back was against the wall. In a split second, she realized that if she kept dating these men, she would never survive, and if she embraced suicide, it could possibly be the most selfish thing that she could ever do. And then a still small voice spoke to her and said, baby girl, even though you don't love yourself, I love you. And even though you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you. And though your dreams seem broken, battered, and bruised, broken in a contract spirit will I use. And now that you've reached your lowest point, you're at the perfect position for me to rebuild you, for me to mend you and make you, for me to take you and shape you. And when I feel like you're ready, I'll raise you up as a standard before men see, but you have to trust me. See, I couldn't pose on your life and make you love me, but what good is that for me? Because what good is a love if it's not by choice? And something deeply rooted inside of her spoke back to that voice, said, dear God, is that you? The same man that came down off the throne to walk in the flesh before me so that I can be free, dear God, is that you? The same man that suffered the torture of watching his one and only son being beat, nails in his hands and feet pierced his side for me, dear God, is that you? The same man that told me you would never leave me nor forsake me, now you want to take me, make me, and shape me, dear God, is that you? And then that suicide demon spoke up again and said, God, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'd much rather take the easy way out, see, because I have my doubts. And oftentimes when I fall down on my knees to pray, I feel like you don't hear me because my lack of faith became the direct communication barrier between you and me and God. Let me just keep it real with you. My heart can't take another break, and as you can see right now, my life is at stake, so why don't I just make this easy on the both of us? And God spoke back and said, baby girl, I know your heart is broken, and I know you feel less served, and I know you feel like you were bred into a family with no love, but when I created you, every strand of your hair, I counted them by number just to make sure it fit the circumference of your head, your eyes. The sparkle in your eyes, I made sure it reflected directly off of my sunlight, your smile. The width of your smile, I made sure it was the perfect length to light up the room when you walked in your heart. Baby girl, your heart, though broken right now, when I first created it, I stamped my name on it so that when people saw it, they knew it belonged to me. And if you look deep within through all the broken pieces and the stains from sin, there my name is still intact. So why can't you trust me? You've trusted everyone else and allowed them to break you. Why can't you trust that I'll mend you and make you? Why can't you trust me? You said yourself that I'm the same man that came down off my throne for you. You said yourself, I'm the same man that suffered the torture of watching my one and only son being beat, nails in his hands and feet pierced his side for you. So of all people, me. Why can't you trust me? And that girl sat back and all she could do was cry. And as the tears rolled down her face, God picked up the pieces of her shattered glass heart, broken and cold, held it in his hands, made it whole, and held it close to his. And he said, I promise you that this is where it'll stay, as long as you promise not to stray away. And ever since that day, I found a friend in Jesus, and though my life is still not everything that I want it to be, my worship, it sustains me, it mends me, and it makes me. And when I feel life trying to break me, I remember the day that God picked up the pieces of my shattered glass heart, broken and cold, held it in his hands, made it whole, and held it close to his. And he told me, baby girl, you will never, ever find another love like this.